Camazotz, that Camazotz, I told you that Camazotz was nasty.
I think he was just too prominent in that last game, already getting them the first blood and making that mid lane such a tough fight for them.
I want to see it, be interested if they're going to try to let the Bologna slot to counter that. Bologna really gives teams that have maybe a little bit less experience the chance to go against more experienced teams there, just because how tanky and how much damage he does.
Did you just see the
Not
Bologna
but the
ban?
Bologna. Yeah, I just saw the Bologna ban.
Perfect. So yeah, Bologna got banned away there. No problem with that on my end. But I think the Camazotz ban clearly was it Black Bullet 9 on the Camazotz? Pretty sure he was a jungle, right?
Yeah, Black Bullet
Yeah,
9
Black
was the
Bullet 9.
Camazotz.
Yeah, he was on that Camazotz, and he was just tearing through. The Thoth also going to get banned away, so clearly those two characters meshed pretty well. Ganesha going to be locked in for their team. Vyse able to lock in one of the more prominent supports right now. I have no issue with that. I just think leaving a few characters open for Godslayer Ronin, like Osiris or Ravana, whoever they want to pick up. But Ganesha, I have no issue with that. Just be ready to play against a couple of pretty strong characters that Godslayer Ronin are probably looking at right now.
And once again, folks, unfortunately this week we had to kick out a team for surrendering before 20. You want to make sure that you realize that even if you're losing really bad, it's really surrendering before 20 just for these competitive teams like I'm sure your team's competitive, everyone's team's competitive, but nobody wants to have their time wasted in this league. They want to have that 20-minute, at least that 20-minute game. Broadcasters have to take time out of our schedule, out of our lives. Like I have to spend so much time just dealing with minor complaints and so on and so forth, and then come to broadcasting and so on. But I don't want to deal with like a 5-minute game that just made me drop maybe a date I had with my girlfriend or something, or so on and so forth. Because I have so much. I'm on such great ice with my girlfriend right now.
I think the rules where they stand right now are pretty good to weed out the teams that aren't going to be reputable coming into the fall splits. So make sure that you're following the rules, especially if you're looking at fall split and wanting to be competitive in that. But the rules will probably we're gonna be looking at rules before fall split. So if you think nothing's gonna change and that we're stone cold and hard, don't think that. But right now the rules are the way they are to make sure that teams play in a way that is professional and reputable, so that we can display it and we have good sportsmanship all around until we get to fall league, where we can start trusting the players more and loosening up a little bit. But for now, we have to be so strict. So please respect that and understand that.
I mean, the fall league is going to be, if you, it's going to be the best of the best. Let's just put it that way. We already
Fall
have
league's gonna
so
be pretty
many
good.
rules laid out, so many plans laid out for fall league. It's crazy. Like we've been talking about fall league maybe half the time when we're not broadcasting, right?
Upgrade only actually able to get his hands on his Apollo there, same as last game. So many worshippers and plenty of experience. He doesn't really care for the Kernernus. I don't think the Medusa are going to be locked in for on the side of Godslayer Ronin. Clearly the Kernernus is not really in their sights right now, opting for the Medusa instead. Probably just didn't work out. But yeah, Fall League is shaping up to be much more competitive, I think, with the top teams already showing their hitting their stride, at least in the current league. I think Fall League is going to be pretty competitive in what we're going to the plans that we're starting to lay out. A Wheelik's going to be banned out on the side of Vyse, not wanting that to go. I think just doing the research again and making sure that the jungler on the side of Godslayer Ronin does not get their hands on that. Osiris going to be banned out by GSR. Going to keep that out of the hands of the soul laner from Vyse. I think pretty meta bans overall. The Camazotz is obviously just a big respect ban, but I don't mind the respect ban, especially if he was such a prominent factor on that character.
Thoth is always prominent in my opinion, just with that long range damage. He doesn't even have to be in a fight to be in a fight, It's
Yes,
crazy.
he can sit. Yes, his clear goes halfway across the lane, and he can sit from his well and clear the wave if he wants to. It's whatever he wants, really.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you gotta give respect to that Ymir though.
I think the Ymir pick is interesting. I think definitely more of a comfort pick. We don't usually see Ymir as a top ban and top pick. He comes in and out of the meta as prominent, but he's still a good character. Guan Yu going to be hovered on. I think the soul laner opting to grab that. Not sure exactly why he wouldn't want to pick up a Ravana or a Hercules, but Guan Yu being locked in, I think that's probably a comfort pick for their soul laner. We'll see how that works out.
Guan Yu provides a team heal. I mean, it's not as much as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. Along with that protection shreds, or with that spin.
Guan Yu
charge slow. And then
Guan
the
Yu
ult,
is not a
pretty good.
bad character, and his kit is pretty good. He shreds through, and he's able to have a decent heal as well as a dash that does decent damage, but he's just kind of underwhelming overall. Sure, in a 1v1 sense, he'll shred your protection, stun you out, and do oodles of damage while healing himself online, but in a team fight, all he can really do is have that big stun with his ultimate. Then after that, he has that little heal every once in a while, and the protection shred will only come through if you're coordinated enough to use them properly. I think other characters would be a lot better, especially a character like a Hercules who has that the pull and dash combination up, however, every 15 or so seconds, however often the Earthbreaker's online, but still, we'll see how the Guan Yu does in that solo lane up against whoever it is Vyse is thinking about picking up here.
Hmm. I'm really interested to see what Astro Kitty's thinking about. Probably trying to communicate with his team, his or her team. Sorry, we don't say
No
his
Limit
or her
Storms
enough.
actually was the one in the solo lane, so actually it could be a Hades in the solo lane, or no, it's going to be Hades mid Ganesha in the support role, Kumbhakarna in the solo role, with Thor as their jungler. So definitely an interesting comp going for two Guardians and a pretty tanky mage, with only Apollo as your prominent backline. I think Hades, if you build full damage on him, he's too easily punished if you don't build protections, or at least try to get lifesteal or something to sustain himself, which is going to take away from his full power potential. But still, I don't mind the comp. I just think you have to make sure that upgrade only gets pretty far ahead as the Apollo as fast as you can to make the other four frontliners as well as Thor. I think Thor can also frontline pretty well, but full damage out of him is probably what I'd be expecting to make sure that your backline has a little bit more umph.
Hmm.
Delving a little bit into their pool time, Godslayer, Godslayer run, and thinking about what they're gonna put in their jungle. If they haven't already picked it, it could be a Ymir jungle. It's actually gonna be a Ymir jungle. It's looking like Vamana possibly going into that. So yeah, so it's actually gonna be well, it could be a number of things, but what I'm predicting is that it's going to be Guan Yu support with Vamana in the solo lane and Ymir as their jungler, but we'll find out.
Ymir jungle, if done by a competent jungle that knows, has a rhythm, knows what he's doing, knows when to go to the camps, knows etc., just knows the fundamentals of his role, and knows the character Ymir well enough, it is devastating. It comes up from behind with that freeze. It changes the whole team fight. Because as a support, generally you know where he is. He's usually with someone else or something. But he's not coming through that jungle, coming into the fight a little bit later, and hitting you with that freeze unexpectedly. You kind of forget about him in jungle because it just seems so out of place, really. Like, I don't know how to explain it better.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna
in
be
my
interested.
mind,
I'm pretty sure last game Fallen Atom Bomb was the jungler. He was using that Fenrir and he was able to grab himself a couple of kills. So it's looking like it could be Guan. But I think Guan in the jungle would be a pretty big mistake. I don't think Guan Yu jungle has very much potential to be pretty big. And having a Ymir as the support's pretty good, but I think Guan Yu, his gank potential isn't too great. You're being forced pretty much every single time to use your ultimate to have any prominent CC. Between his first three abilities, you only have I think his dash slows, and that's it.
yeah, his dash slows. I think you have to have the fire on for it to slow anymore, though. They kind of gutted him at the beginning of season 4.
Yeah. But we'll definitely find out. They could be switching up roles. He could be confident with that Guan Yu and going into that dual lane and putting Blonde Bomber in the jungle as Ymir, but we'll find out.
Hmm. And just like taking this time once again to just talk a little bit about the rules and explain why we do the rules that we're doing right now. The reason we're not doing SPL, SCL rules is because right now, when we started this, there was positive feedback and so on and so forth. And if we just keep changing the rules, I mean, I make minor tweaks here and there. Apparently, people want the joke really bad. They don't find it offensive. So we are allowing the joke. But right now, we need time to experiment with the SPL, SCL rules, look at them, see if there's things we need to change for a league that's not official, make sure there's nothing that could possibly get us in legal trouble for copying and pasting them in our league, and so on and so forth, because once again, Hi-Rez is a company. They had lawyers draw up those rules along with other people, minds, and so on and so forth. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of copyright or something like that that prevents us from using it. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever the reason being, the rules are the way they are, and they're still pretty strict as is, and I don't really have an issue with most of them. I think they definitely are a rough draft kind of rule set, and they're a little bit more lenient when it comes to subs. High-Res only allows 2 subs for, or at least in competitive leagues for Xbox as well as PC, only allow 2 substitutes for their teams. So us allowing 4 is simply to accommodate teams that have lots of scheduling conflicts or what other reasons they'll be needing subs, be it that their people aren't showing up or they have somebody in their main roster who isn't very accountable. Imperious. Excuse me. But those 4 sub spots are definitely going to be coming in handy.
Right, and once again, next fall split, we will talk about it, but right now the rules are what they are. I actually will have Tyner, who everyone seems to agree with, is a logical and fun person, look over the rules later tonight, and then have him fix them up, make sure that everything's agreeable, and then we'll repost them, and that will be the final, probably the final draft with minor tweaks made as things come up. And once again, the 20-minute rule will stay because, once again, it is either a waste it's a waste to both the announcers and to your opponent's teams to do that. We are not getting paid to do this. We are putting a lot of our own time on the line here.
It didn't freeze up for you, did it?
Why are they level 3?
It didn't freeze up for you, did it?
They're level 3.
Well, they're level 3. That's the first problem. It says level 1 on my screen, but it says level 1 on... Well, I would, but it's frozen, dude. God damn it. I don't know why. Yeah, it froze again for me. I literally can't broadcast anymore, I don't think. God damn it. I'm going to have to either see if another PS4 will work for me or... Because I have another one in my dad's room, but I don't... It's the same exact model, so we'll find out if that one's any better, but... Crap.
Alright. You might have to start looking to get that PlayStation Pro that everyone's been talking about.
I want to get the PlayStation Pro, and I guarantee you that'd be a lot better than what I'm using right now, but it's frozen up for me right now. If everybody could probably just go and tune in at the... Go tune into Reaper's the Twitch for the... Is it your personal Twitch or is it the Twitch for the PlayStation Smite League?
The Twitch. I have the thing posted on the line, etc. and so forth.
Go ahead and go to the post. Unfortunately, I won't be able to commentate as I can't see the game happening. It won't let me. Spectate. So crap. Just go ahead and go watch the Twitch. Let Reaper lead you through the game and hopefully see some good plays. But it looks like they're starting at level 3, so there's probably going to have to be a restart of the game anyway. I'm really sorry about the inconvenience, guys. I'm going to stop the broadcast. Fuck me, dude.